Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome up on stage. Is he here? Is he ready? He is, yes. Victor van Doorn.
Hey. Thank you. Can you hold this for me? Thank you. Don't open it yet. Just keep it all next to you. Can you keep this one for me? Thank you. I would love a clicker. Thanks. So, I hope that I'm the odd one out today, because instead of spending the last 6 or so years getting into the tech world, I've spent them trying to escape it. The intended outcome of that story of my journey towards more analog and more tangible products is either that you'll feel very relieved just at how easy it is to scale something in the digital world and how hard it is in the analog world. Of course, we all know this, but it's nice to feel relieved. Or, and you'll feel excited at how much fun it can be to create something tangible. I think an important thing to know about me, which has created the red thread throughout all the things that I've done, is that I like living a slightly more cinematic way of life. I like to, as a child, I always took movies too seriously and I always took them a bit too literally. And I've been wanting to be Spider-Man and living in that way, like Aladdin, climbing rooftops. And so when I first got my first smartphone, relatively late in the game in 2010, and saw what it could do with GPS, I was laying in bed one night and thinking like, wow, this device has the ability to create a movie, a little replay of my day, collecting where I've been and where I've taken photographs, where I've put tweets at the time, I was still on Twitter, and create like a map of my day, and adding a replay button could tell me, oh, there needs to be no audio in this, so everything can be muted. Thanks. Create a replay of your day, and I was incredibly excited to have found a way to make your life visible as a movie. And so my parents, who had saved up for me to go to university, I asked them, would it be okay if instead of going to university, I invest those savings in the creation of an iOS app? And they said, of course. In their wisdom, it's, yeah. I was very green at the time. I think I was 19, and I had no idea of who to ask, and the iOS scene was very young and underdeveloped, so I had no idea that the people who I entrusted my savings with had no idea what they were doing. And they spent so much time and budget making a very, very buggy app that my first experience with a digital product was almost traumatizing, very overdrawn. It took a year to make something that I was barely happy with, and I'd been spending so much time getting worked up over it and invested all my savings that this became, well, a very intense and also disappointing experience for me. And I'm not going to go through all the ups and downs. I'm going to share one up, which is this moment when we had just launched and having prepared quite a bit of marketing, because that's kind of more my thing. I don't have the temperament to be a coder, but I love to create stunts and fun marketing things. So we were able to launch, and even though we were quite an expensive app, I think now, we managed to reach #1 in the Netherlands and Belgium, which was a very nice moment, a very vindicating moment, before all the bugs came creeping in when they updated iOS. And then one down moment, which was a few years ago when I decided not to renew the domain for Replay My Day. So this app, which I put a lot of love into, and more than that, is no more. And after this, I had a wish to do something completely different, to make something where if it had bugs, I would be able to fix it myself with my hands. So I was drawn to a more tangible adventure. And I'd always been very fascinated with the little backlit Apple logo on a MacBook. And I always thought that if, when you press the brightness of a screen, then the Apple also goes down in brightness. So I thought, well, it's probably not a very small light source. It's probably the entire screen that is lighting this Apple. So if you get a very strong laser cutter and you bore through the aluminum of the cover, then maybe you can create art. You can create backlight art on your MacBook. And little did I know how much trouble I was getting myself into taking apart, well, first my own MacBook and destroying my Bluetooth and Wi-Fi with that. That was just, yeah, that's fine, because that was mine. And then I spent some time looking for the best industrial grade laser cutter that could cut through this very strong aluminum. What? And yeah, oh, it's also, everything can be muted. Nice. Yeah. There you go. Got that. Thanks. And yeah, I was bewildered by these beautiful sparks, and I thought, wow, this could be such a cool product. And then Apple renewed their modification. They modified the way the screen is put together, and they made it completely impossible to take it apart. But I just came from an experience where I gave up relatively quickly after the first few setbacks. And so I said, well, this time, unlike with the app, I'm not going to quit at the first, depression signs coming up. And then we spent so much time trying to get the screen apart in a way that didn't demolish it. Actually, when we did it, the first laptop that we did it for was this guy's, Alexander. And I told him, well, we've never done this new kind of screen, so it's a bit of a beta thing. And then he said, no, it's okay. Try it. And then, because we couldn't take the screen apart, we actually put it under a cutter where we thought maybe if we aim it just right, it won't hit the screen. Of course, we bored right through the computer. And had to arrange a backup computer for him before he went on television. But the nice thing is he really thought it was very funny. And we became friends because of this. So sometimes a crisis is very helpful, especially if you're open about it, saying like, yes, actually, this is what we did. This is what we've screwed up. And here's your other MacBook. So he thought it was fun. Over time, we got better at this, and we're not boring through MacBooks anymore. We're actually very, very nicely precise with it now. And we made one for the King, and for a top DJ, this is Jamie XX, and that spawned a whole, I think we have half of the DJs in the top 100 of the DJ magazine have a customized MacBook by our company. And this is Evan Spiegel's MacBook from Snapchat. I think he doesn't have this one anymore. We're making a new one now. And this is the one that we made for Elon Musk. Unfortunately, he had to give it back because his IT department didn't trust it enough. He thought, well, there's too many points of where it could have been tampered with, and he didn't want anyone in the mail order to be able to see the Hyperloop plans and stuff. So actually, this one is mine now, but we made it for him anyway. Oh, back. But still, you can see I was trying to escape from the tech scene, and I wasn't working. I'm still in the tech scene. I'm still making things for tech CEOs, and it's more fun because it's more tangible. But it wasn't cinematic enough. I wanted to do something else. And as luck would have it, I had a crush on a girl when I was in London, and I heard that the perfect thing to take a girl on a date with is called this new thing back then in 2013. This new hype called an escape room, because you're locked in a room together and you have to puzzle your way out. Actually, who has played an escape room? Wow, that's half. That's nice. That's like a market to conquer and also some proof. And so, yeah, I took this girl to the escape room, and as it turned out, she was not that excited by it, but I was completely unraveled in it, and that was not a good date. But I fell in love with this concept instead, which was a good outcome anyway as well. Yeah, life's what happens when you're making other plans. And so I came home from London, and I told my friends about this experience, and they also had this sparkle in their eyes, because escape rooms is kind of making a movie where people step into. So it's kind of the most cinematic thing you can do in the real world. You create an adventure inside a space where people will have to work together and kind of feel like they're inside a narrative to get out, which is a very basic drive, and a very powerful one, to get out of a room where you're locked into. So we created Sherlocked, and we're very lucky that we were the first in Amsterdam to do this. We were the third in the Netherlands, but because of my connection with this guy, Alexander, who is in the editorial board of The World Keeps Turning, The Wereld Draait Door, which is the TV show where the guy whose MacBook we bored through, he was one of our beta testers, because he was a beta tester of the previous product, so he had to try it now as well. And he had a really good time, so he pitched it in the show, and we had the privilege of telling 1.7 million people, because it was a very well-watched episode about this new phenomenon, and it exploded after that. So right now, which is just 2 years later, there are over 600 different escape rooms in the Netherlands, and we have the lucky position of being on top in the rankings. So Sherlock became a very vindicating experience after, well, still the trauma of Replay My Day, investing so much energy and not getting much back. This is the first success. Uncover was a medium success, and I'm very proud of having at least made a MacBook for Elon Musk, even though we got it back. But Sherlock was a very enthralling experience. And of course, we still had bugs to fix. For instance, we have a break-in experience, and there we lock people up in numerous stages of a vault complex. It's called the vault. And we try to make it as immersive and real as possible. So, because I have this boy dream of actually being not a criminal, but a very good burglar. And so we wanted to create this for other people to experience as well. But in the earliest months of this, we had a bit of a faulty lock. And so we accidentally locked a group in a compartment where they weren't supposed to be locked, and we didn't have the key. And so one of our hosts remembered, and this was brilliant, he remembered that we still had a steel cutter in the back of the thing somewhere. And so he put on this big ski mask and went inside and started drilling open the lock. And the people loved it. They were thinking, wow, this is so immersive. Yeah. So sometimes you just gotta do a little extra. Do your best a little extra to keep the immersion alive. This is actually when we did it again later. And still, what turns out, I'm still not able to escape the tech world, because this big vault that we inherited from the old stock exchange building here in the Beurs van Berlage, which is just around the corner, it had a very old vault, and also its lock was very faulty. And people were not able to open it, because it's very tricky to open an antique 100-year-old lock. You have to go 4 times to the left with one number, then 3 times to the right with another number, 2 times to the left again, and then 90 degrees. And people from the olden days used to know this. I didn't know this, and nobody who plays our game knows this. So we tried to make a manual, just a written manual, and people didn't really enjoy it. So this is kind of a problem of onboarding. We didn't really do a good job at that. And then someone had a brilliant idea of what if we create an app? And I was like, oh no. But yeah, no, listen out. We can make an app that's like a prologue to the game, and we focus entirely just on this function of going left and right on an old lock, and we make it fun. And so all the people will be inadvertently trained at opening antique locks. And so we made an app, and it was quite frustrating with all the bugs again. But this time I was prepared, and we created the first digital prologue to a live physical game. And I'm very proud of what we came up on. It didn't reach the number 1 in the App Store, because the App Store is much more crowded now than it was in 2011 and 12. But I'm very happy with it anyway. And I think my time is getting a little short, and I have a few things to give away still. Actually, Milan, can you give this one to someone over there? Can I give this to you guys? Thank you. And this one to you. Thanks. If you have someone near you with one of these boxes, I wanted to end on a little adventure for you guys, because this room has locks as well, and we locked them. So I hope no one's too claustrophobic. It's a nice big space, but right now you can't get out. And I also wanted to help you get to know one another a little bit better. So if you have someone with these cases, I want to invite you to open the envelope underneath them and help each other find your way out of this room. You have, okay, sure. I think I have an analog clock. Do I? Because I'm a bit allergic to digital things now. Can I have my analog clock on stage? Perfect. So we invited a developer to be the least efficient clock in the world.
Before they open it, or they have a
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Wow, 1 minute 10. Oh my God, guys, 1 minute 10. Stop the clock. We have a team. Woo! So we have a newly formed team, and I'm so sorry for all the other teams. I'm super happy that you got so enthusiastic to do it without knowing what the prize was, because of course there is a prize. I want to invite you guys to come play Sherlocked next in the coming days. So pick a date, because that's always a hard thing, and then come for a real adventure. And for everyone else, thank you so much for being part of this experiment. Thank you for tolerating all the chaos. This was something that we'd never done. And from this chaos, I think Justin would now like to come back on stage and invite you all for a drink. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for that. That was lots and lots of fun. So congratulations to the team of winners. Apart from winning the prize, we also get to be able to go outside, which is nice. Thank you for that. So, thank you very, very much. So I'm going to round up the day. Who here enjoyed themselves? Hands up. Good, good. I'm happy about that. Who here learned something? Yeah, learned something. Yeah, okay. Excellent. Who here met somebody that they hadn't met before? Who here actually likes that person? Good, good, good. A lot of nice people here. I'm happy about that. So I'm going to round up the day and thank our beautiful partners for helping us do this. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. We also have some supporters that really believe in us and were actually generous enough to buy a more expensive ticket just to support the community and the conference. Hong Lee from Fusion, Thank you very, very much for doing that. You're a hero to us. We also have Jurjen Sonne, who is somewhere here from Infinite Playground. Thank you very much, Jurjen. You're a hero too. Alessandro from Microsoft. I saw you a sec. There we go. Thank you very much. And Arlemy from IBM, who's sitting over there. Thank you so much, Arlemy. So these are our amazing, amazing supporters. Thank you, a big thank you to all of the speakers who've been up here on stage and have been sharing their story with us. I really enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else did too. Round of applause for the speakers, please. And then, of course, there's a group of people that have been working on this for over a year now. Can you please come up on stage? Come up. Let's get all of the other organizers up here. We're gonna take a bow. Where's Rita? Where's Rita? Organizers do organizing things. Rita, thank you very much. And we're all going to take a bow. Thank you. And of course, a big thanks to our volunteers who've been running around like manic, frenzied individuals. They all helped this day, make this day a possibility as well. Big thank you to the volunteers. Thank you so much. It was great.